All right, g'day, hi, and welcome. Yeah, I'm in my grubby work clothes. I was supposed to work today, but seeing I didn't. Oh, and I'm over here. I'm way over here. Yeah, I'm yeah. So, as I was saying in the last video, this guitar's so cool. This thing makes me laugh every time. It's like, just the ridiculousness of it, right? But anyway, so playing around with the pickup heights. So this guitar is still pretty much in the factory setup. I'm gonna refine, like I say, I'll play a guitar for a couple of months to see, okay, with the factory setup, and then say, okay, yeah, you know what? After playing it for that long, yeah, it would, maybe I need to raise the action or lower the action. In this case, I might just take the action down like that much, like just a smidgen. As far as the pickups, this guitar kills me because it's so in your face. It's the most aggressive guitar sound I've ever had next to my Hammer Diablo years ago. These pickups, the Duncan distortions, are really, really high output pickups. They might not actually be as high output pickups as the Alpha and Omegas, but the mids, there's not a mid scoop on this. So this one's kind of like, here's your low end, which is pretty high, and then you got, like, a high mid, and then pretty high. Where the Alpha and Omegas are kind of like flat across the board, for clarity. So you got probably more. They're probably a hotter pickup, but these tend to cut through more, which makes them really, 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 really aggressive, right? And I like that. And but the thing is that you play it, okay, then you're ready to make an adjustment. Like, for example, the bridge pickup on this guitar, okay, is almost pretty much flush with the that outer little outer casing here, or saddle, or whatever you want to call it. This one is not touching the strings, but it's definitely, it's pretty close. And I'm actually kind of surprised there's no string phasing, which is another thing that you need to talk about when you're talking about your output level of your pickups. Okay, let's say you got a pickup, you like the sound of it, okay. You've now played it for a while, okay, and you're going to do an adjustment. So maybe these pickups are too hot, okay. So you lower them down, get a nice balance between the neck and the bridge on your headphones. Now you're going to play it through your cabinet, at stage volume, concert volume. Then you go and you play live with it, and you're like, yeah, I liked it, but I think I can raise them up just a smidgen to get a little bit more bite out of the bridge, and maybe take a little bit of muddiness out of the neck, or maybe I want a little bit more of that overbearing muddiness out of the neck for my solos, and maybe the bridge is just a little bit too hot, and I lower it down. Now let's say you have uh, medium, low to medium output pickups, okay? And you're like, okay, I got to get more out of these things. So you do the same thing, you balance them out, you go play live, and you're like, okay, you've recorded with it and everything like that. I got to raise them up. So you raise them up, and you go, it's still not enough. It's still quite not giving you the saturation in the output you want. You don't quite have that thundery drive. Like this thing, like the notes, it sounds like you're stomping your feet on the freaking fretboard. It's just like they're almost percussive when you do that. It has they get real, like, these pickups really accent those percussions, which sound really, really cool, especially for like a thrash metal sound or whatever. But let's say these were lower output pickups. A guitar I mentioned was my Ibanez Artcore. It had, like, very soft output, like Alnico 2s or something like that. These pickups were almost gutless and like they, usually when you go from your bridge to your neck, or you do the combination of both, you usually get a fairly like different tones and distinctive. But these pickups were so low output, even live you couldn't really hear the difference. Didn't matter if the pickups were all the way up, but when you recorded with them, they were the sweetest sounding pickups I've ever heard recorded. But the guitar was just no good for live. So if you had pickups like that, you raised them all the way up, you still wouldn't get that output that you want live, right? So at that point, you're talking about going up to a hotter pickup. So maybe you go from medium output pickups to the like insane things like these Duncan Distortion SH6s. I just laugh at, but these things are so like they're really a one trick pony. I could lower them down, never. But it's also the charm of the guitar because even when they're really high up like that, they have quite good clarity. So it's like, well, if it's got the clarity, it's just when I go to play clean, it sounds like every note's like if I do something that's not, that would be like bow, 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 bow. Like it's just so in your face that it doesn't even sound like the guitar sounds good clean. The pickups have good clarity clean, but there's just too much signal there. You could just roll back the volume a little bit. But even sometimes that doesn't work. It's still just too hot of a signal. You know what I mean? So let's say you got that really low output pickups. You've raised them all the way up. And you sort of got the sound you want, but then you hear something really weird happening with your guitar. It sounds like a little trilling sounds like kind of like that in when you're playing, especially when you get up higher in the fretboard. Okay, that sounds fine, but it sounds like it's like that but faster. It's like, let's see if I can do it. Like that's like not, but that kind of a sound, but really really fast, almost like an extremely fast tremolo sound. And you're like, what the hell is that? The first time I heard it, I had no idea what it was. I thought my guitar was broken. This is back when I had my Ibanez RG750. Yes, that guitar got stolen on me back in '94, and yes, I'm still bitter about that. But anyway, I bought this guitar. It was my first professional guitar, and I was a teenager. I worked my ass off for it, and a couple of months after I got it, I started playing around with the pickups and everything like that. And all of a sudden, one day, I started getting this this weird trilling sound. Like, what the hell's going on? I'm panicking, freaking out. I was like, oh my god, my investment, my guitar, it's all the money in the world I spent on this. I worked 3 summers for it, whatever. So I take it into Steve's Music where I bought it, and the guitar tech there at the time, Kevin. I don't know if he'd still be there. He might be retired by now, but he was an interesting character anyway. And I said, oh my god, what's wrong with my guitar? And he's kind of the guy that kind of sold it to me. I mean, like he was the salesman I dealt with, right? And I dealt with him for many, many years. And anyway, he goes, here, I'll show you something. So he plays it, he does it, right? And then he grabs a screwdriver and he just lowers down the pickup, does it, and it was gone. It was just normal like that. No more trill. I'm like, what happened? He goes, magnet, metal, magnet, metal. Magnet gets close to metal, wing, 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 wing. Magnet gets far from metal. No wing, wing, wing. Understand? I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. So he goes, yeah. It goes like, when you have hotter pickups, they tend to have more powerful magnets. So when they get really close to your string, they tend to pull the string, which causes a phasing. And that's might be one of the reasons why you have to go to higher output pickups, is because to get those sounds with your regular pickups, you have to get too close to your strings, which again might make it sound really cool, but it might make it sound really muddy. So again, really high output pickups lowered all the way down, maybe not all the way down, but pretty close to all the way down, probably give you the same effect as a medium output pickup almost all the way up. Understand? Excuse me, burp there. And that could be a desired sound. So where you place your pickups, that's an individual choice. If you want more clarity, I know with the Glenn guy, for him, clean doesn't exist. He only cares about metal tone, which is great. But if you're in a band like Periphery, you have to have a really killer metal tone, but you also have to have a really killer clean tone. That's one area where I really disagree with him on that. Your clean tone, even if you're playing 2% of the time, yes, it matters, and it matters a lot, because just to finish up here, if you were Mark Holcomb, I got the Holcomb guitar over there, but if you were like a guy like him and you're playing like, and then whatever it is, all that stuff that he does clean, like his clean tones are fantastic, right? And his metal tones are fantastic. It's all coming out of the same guitar. You know what I mean? So to get that, I mean, that is a really tricky pickup to get. Where this guitar, it has good clean tones if you can mellow it. But the lead tone, like this guitar is made, okay, when you got a song where there's going to be no clean, this is the guitar you want. These are the pickups you want. But if I had to, like if this was the only guitar I could possibly own for the rest of my life, it's need not want, but I would have to live with the overbearingness of it. which is kind of cool because, but it's like, then, like when you, because I do a lot of like riffy stuff, right? But then I'll, whatever it's going to be, right? So I'm going to go from clean to like, to all that heavy stuff. So I need a guitar that can do both. This guitar doesn't do that. I wish it did. And I could put a coil tap in it later on. I could lower them down, but then I lose all that stupid silliness that I get with it with the pickups that high. Yeah. Like sometimes you just don't want to compromise, right? But that, yeah, so pickup height does affect. And yes, you will hear it. There's one last thing I'll have to talk about.